Welcome to The Explainer. Today we are tearing into Ryan Holiday's incredibly powerful book, Ego is the Enemy. It's all about understanding and hopefully conquering our absolute greatest opponent, ourselves. So let's just jump right in with a question that really gets to the core of it all. No matter where you are in life or what you're trying to do, Holiday's big argument is that your worst enemy, well, it's already living inside you. It's your ego. You know, the Nobel Prize-winning physicist Richard Feynman said it perfectly. The first principle is that you must not fool yourself, and you are the easiest person to fool. We are absolute masters of self-deception, and this book is all about yanking back that curtain. What Holiday argues is that for anyone out there with real ambition, your biggest hurdle isn't the competition, it's not the market, it's not even a string of bad luck. Nope, it's something much, much closer to home. It's an internal force that just sabotages us from the inside out. And let's be super clear about what we mean by ego here. This isn't about healthy competence or good self-esteem. We're talking about that destructive, totally self-absorbed part of us that just warps reality. It's like that little whining child inside that demands to be seen as more special, more important, and recognized for things it hasn't even earned yet. And this is such a great way to see the difference. On one side, you've got healthy confidence. It's based in reality, it keeps you humble, and it actually connects you with other people. But on the other side, that's the destructive ego. It's loud, it's arrogant, and it cuts you off from the world and from the very feedback you need to grow. It's really the difference between knowing what you can do and being totally blinded by the story you tell yourself. And you know, this whole idea didn't come from some academic paper. It came from a really personal, painful place. Holiday himself had this insane, meteoric rise. He was a young executive, a best-selling author, and then he just watched his own world and the worlds of his mentors completely implode under the crushing weight of ego. And what he realized was this enemy isn't some one-time threat. Oh no, it is relentless, and it attacks you at three really critical moments in your life. When you're just starting out, aspiring to something great, when you've actually hit it big and found success, and yeah, even when you failed and you're trying to pick up the pieces. So let's dig into that first battlefield, right? The aspiration stage. This is when you're just starting out, you're full of dreams, and of course, a ton of ambition. This is so important, and I think a trap a lot of us fall into. Your ego convinces you that just having the idea is enough. It absolutely loves the praise that comes from talking about your big plans, but it runs and hides from the quiet, difficult, and honestly, often thankless work it takes to actually make those plans a reality. And here are the specific traps it sets. See, ego wants the title. It wants to be a CEO or be an author without putting in the hours to actually do the work. It loves to hear itself talk, and it chases that exciting, fleeting feeling of passion instead of the steady, disciplined pursuit of purpose. Basically, it sets you up to fail before you've even really started the game. Okay, so what happens when you actually pull it off? You achieve your goals, you've won. You'd think the danger is over, right? Well, not so fast. The enemy just changes its tactics. The legendary artist Marina Abramović puts it so well. If you start believing in your greatness, it is the death of your creativity. That's it right there. The second you start believing your own hype is the second you stop growing, you stop learning, you stop getting better. It's like this dangerous little whisper in your ear. Ego tells you, you've made it, you're special. There's no way you can be wrong now. It wraps you up in this little bubble, puts you on a pedestal that you built yourself, and you become completely disconnected from what's real. And here's the really tragic part. The very things that got you success in the first place, being humble, collaborating, listening, ego just corrupts them. Think about someone like Howard Hughes, a brilliant innovator who ended up a paranoid recluse, totally isolated by his success and his ego. You start to feel entitled, you lose touch, and you pretty much guarantee your time at the top is going to be short. All right, let's look at that third and final stage, which is where ego can be at its absolute most toxic, when you've hit rock bottom, when everything has fallen apart. This might just be ego's deadliest trick. See, failure can be a powerful teacher, a seed for something new to grow. But ego, it turns that failure into a permanent, bitter part of your identity. It points fingers everywhere else but inward, and in doing so, it robs you of the chance to actually learn anything from the experience. Ego makes sure you stay down for the count. It just fuels all that resentment and self-pity, and it convinces you that this failure is the end of your story. It won't let you find the strength or the lesson or the opportunity that's almost always hidden inside the struggle?
So, if this enemy is always there at every stage, what's the solution? How are we supposed to fight this constant internal battle that Holiday talks about?
Here's the key. This isn't a war you win once and it's over. It's a lifelong practice. It's about a daily, conscious choice to always be a student, to find a purpose that's bigger than your own ambition, and to be brutally honest with yourself. It's choosing humility over arrogance, reality over fantasy, and purpose over pride every single day. Holiday uses this beautiful analogy from Aristotle about a warped piece of wood. To make it straight, a woodworker has to constantly apply this gentle, steady pressure in the opposite direction. Well, our ego is always trying to bend us out of shape. So our job every single day is to apply that same gentle, consistent pressure through awareness and discipline and humility to keep ourselves balanced and straight. And that's really what the book leaves us with. It's this challenge that's both deeply personal for each of us, but also completely universal. The tactics might change depending on if you're aspiring, succeeding, or failing, but the enemy? The enemy is always the same. The real work begins right now with this understanding. The greatest enemy you will ever face is looking right back at you in the mirror. But you know what? So is the power to overcome it.